Hallöchen und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Not for Broadcast. Als Livestream und YouTube-Video zur selben Zeit. Weiter geht's mit der Kampagne Fortsetzen Tag 154. Schauen wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Ein böses Erwachen. Das rhythmische Piepsen des Herzüberwachungsgerätes bringt dich allmählich wieder zu Bewusstsein. Als du deine Augen öffnest, begrüßt dich ein Halbkreis von besorgten Gesichtern. Deine Familie, die an deiner Seite steht. In dieser neuen Umgebung ein beruhigter und vertrauter Anblick. Du blinzelst einige Male, um den Schlaf aus den Augen zu vertreiben, alles ins rechte Licht zu rücken. Aktuell ist Vermögen Verkauf eine Niere. Ja, immer noch. Du spürst eine Hand auf der deinen, behutsam, aber beruhigend. Sam, wie immer bei dir. Verständlicherweise besorgt, aber irgendwie liebevoller denn je. Wir wussten, dass du es schaffen würdest. Hallo, Kuro. Aber wir wussten, dass du es schaffen würdest. Haben auch keine einzige Sekunde lang daran gezweifelt. Wenn mir dieser Bosemann jemals unter die Augen tritt, drückst ihre Hand, versuchst zu zwinkern. Die Sorgenfalten auf Sams Stirn werden weniger. Gott weiß, dass ihr zwei schon genug Sorgen habt, ohne dass eure Gesundheit mit dem Topf geworfen werden muss. Falls es ein Sprichwort ist, das habe ich noch nie gehört so. Nach einem letzten Lächeln wendest du dich dem Rest deiner Familie zu. Als du Susys Anwesenheit spürst, fällt dir auf, dass Charlie unruhig herumzappelt und offensichtlich krampfhaft versucht, nicht besorgt zu wirken. Als du dich zu ihm umdrehst, erkennst du, wie Charlie sich verkrampft. Die Sorge steht ihm deutlich ins Gesicht geschrieben. Also, geht's dir wirklich gut? Fragt er schließlich und schaut schnell zur Seite. Mir geht's gut, Charlie. Lass die Decke in Ruhe, hä? Gibt keinen Grund, sich Sorgen zu machen. Charlie schaut dich an und grinst. Es ist ein ansteckendes Lächeln, das sich im ganzen Raum ausbreitet. Es ist immer gut, wenn er in der Ecke steht. Wenn er in der Ecke steht? Hä? Dein Lächeln schwindet, als deine Mutter auffällt, die teilnahmslos aus dem Fenster starrt. Trotz all deiner größten Bemühungen geht es ihr in letzter Zeit nicht besonders gut. Geht's dir gut, Mama? Deine Mutter erschrickt. Den Ruf hat sie sichtlich aus ihrem Tagtraum gerissen. Sie dreht sich zu dir um und lächelt. Du bist dankbar, die immer seltenere Anerkennung in ihren Augen zu sehen. Ja, mein Schatz, natürlich, wie fühlst du dich? Du lächelst liebevoll und nickst, aber bevor du zu einer Antwort ansetzen kannst, stürmt eine Ärztin herein und führt alle hinaus. Sie fragt dich zum wahrscheinlich 100. Mal, wie du dich fühlst. Überraschend gut, wenn man denkt, was vorgefallen ist. Ausgezeichnet, es gibt keine Hinweise auf echte Schäden, nur einen kleinen Schock für das alte System. Das Wortspiel tut mir leid, sie lächelt. Nicht, dass es empfehlenswert wäre, so etwas noch einmal zu wiederholen. Natürlich nicht. Nach ein paar Tagen Ruhe zu Hause sollte alles wieder in Ordnung sein. Sie dreht sich um, will gehen, bleibt aber an der Tür stehen. Oh, und das Privatzimmer und die Versorgung. Die Ärztin weist mit einer Geste durch das Zimmer, die jetzt auffällt, ziemlich teuer aussieht. Da alles vom Herrn Bosemann bezahlt? Von ihm sind auch die Blumen. Ach so. Wurde alles von Herrn Bosemann bezahlt. Von ihm sind auch die Blumen. Er sagte, es besteht kein Grund zur Sorge und den Rest der Woche ist arbeitsfrei. Am Montag geht's anscheinend wieder los. Scheinbar das Mindeste. Aber zu Ärzten sagen, hoffentlich tritt er mir nicht nochmal unter die Augen. Eine zu tragende Bürde. Du kommst von einer besorgten späten Schicht nach Hause und bemerkst, dass das Küchenlicht noch an ist. Das ist für gewöhnlich kein gutes Zeichen. Alle sind jetzt normalerweise schon im Bett. Leise öffnest du die Küchentür und siehst Sam am Tisch sitzen. Auf dem Tisch stapeln sich Rechnungen und Dokumente, wie eine Packung Kekse, offenbar schon die zweite. Du hältst einen flüchtigen Kuss, während du Platz nimmst. Sam runzelt die Stirn, vertieft sich wieder in eine Rechnung. Hallo mein Schatz, ich schaue mir gerade noch einmal die Zahlen an. Der Blick wandert zur Tür der Speisekammer, die inzwischen zum Schlafzimmer deiner Mutter umfunktioniert wurde. Wir haben wirklich unser Bestes gegeben, aber ich fürchte, dass Cassandra jetzt wirklich langsam eine Krankenschwester braucht, die sie versorgt. Plötzlich siehst du nur noch die Rechnung. Ich starre schon die ganze Nacht auf die Zahlen. Mit Tränen in den Augen ergreift Sam deine Hand. Es gibt schlichtweg keine Möglichkeit, dass wir uns das leisten können. Es tut mir leid. Der Küchentisch verschwimmt vor dir. Sam steht auf, nimmt dich fest in die Arme, aber du kannst nur an deine Mutter denken. Und dass du es dir nicht leisten kannst, ihr zu helfen. Was würde dein Vater jetzt denken? Soll das die Utopie sein, die Advanced versprochen hat? Du starrst auf die Tür zum notdürftig eingerichteten Zimmer deiner Mutter. Morgen musst du es den Kindern sagen. Und dann brauchst du einen Termin im Übergangszentrum. Was hättest du sonst tun können? Oh, sind einige Tage vergangen. Ein Brief nach Hause. Sam arbeitet heute Abend und Charlie übernachtet bei einem Freund. Das Haus gehört dir allein. Du bestellst Essen bei dem Lieferservice, trinkst ein paar Gläser und machst es dir vor dem Fernseher gemütlich. Heute Abend kommt kein sonderlich guter Film. Aber sicherlich etwas, das man sich ansehen kann. Fühlt sich wie ein Witz, es ist eine Komödie. Sam ist nicht da, aber auch allein. Kannst du einen Horrorfilm ansehen? Möchtest einfach nur abschalten, ein Action-Thriller ist genau das. Sam mag keine historischen Dramen, aber machst das Beste aus der Zeit. Ich glaube, ich würde zu einem Horrorfilm greifen. Die Atmosphäre und die Handlungen sind besser als erwartet. Und du erschreckst dich mehr als einmal. Nach einem besonders erschreckenden Erscheinen von der herumlungernde Holzfäller kickst du mit dem Fuß versehentlich gegen den Couchtisch. Dabei kommt ein kleiner Gegenstand zum Vorschein, der hinter einem der Beine versteckt ist. Als du dich herunterbeugst, greifst du danach, erinnerst dich an die Notiz, die Sam im Kühlschrank hinterlassen hat. Hey mein Schatz, Charlie hat Susis Geschenk verloren. Kannst du es heute Abend suchen? Als du das Ding näher betrachtest, stellst du überrascht fest, dass es sich bei dem Geschenk tatsächlich um ein graviertes Feuerzeug für Chippy handelt. Sie behauptet, dieser Spitzname sei liebevoll gemeint, aber Charlie macht trotzdem jedes Mal ein finsteres Gesicht, wenn sie ihn so nennt. Ich weiß nicht, ob Sam das gutheißen würde. Die beigefügte Notiz von Susi erklärt, Irkistan hat eine lange Tradition, die Kunst des Feueranzündens zu glorifizieren. Ich dachte, das gefällt dir. Mach keine Dummheiten, Sus. Hoffentlich handelt es sich nur um ein Souvenir und um keinen neuen Zeitvertreib, den er sich zugelegt hat. Oder den er sich zulegen will. Es ist schön, dass ihr an ihn gedacht habt. Darf ich jetzt auch mal wieder Fernsehen moderieren? Ich will einfach nur abschalten und gucken, dass ich meinen Job mache. Ah, jetzt darf ich doch wieder. Kuro, falls du noch da bist. Was sagt dein Internet heute eigentlich? Tag 232, die Stille. Alles normal, keine Dings mehr. Strom an.
You're fired.
What?
You're fired.
What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny,
Problem?
I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Cass. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise I'm beginning to sound...
Oh, das ist
I
kaputt.
mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Bozeman.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
At 11:30, it's a double bill for popular transatlantic comedy That Nun.
You're letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
I thought we were all
everybody!
part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
You're in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired.
Oh, ich mag die jetzt schon nicht.
All the team at the National.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Und
Thanks,
40
Patrick.
Zigaretten, okay.
Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Okay, ist nix.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
Hi there, Robin Short, National Nightly News. I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on the current government.
I'm not really very interested in politics, really. As Mother always said, leave politics to the politicians, Malcolm.
That's
Over
gut.
to you, fellas.
That's gut.
Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product, Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged genitalia, and increased risk of stroke. No double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
So what are your feelings on the new contraceptive pill?
I think it's a great idea. A big step forward for equality. Sophia Remington is the best thing that has ever happened to that company.
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Porter apologised to this presenter for making him drop his morning bagel in surprise.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical
Ah,
extremists?
die Leute werden
and their
böse über die
upsetting methods?
radikalen
Robin
Extremisten.
found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
Are those the guys in black with the orange fist thing?
That's right.
Can I be honest?
Of course. This is journalism.
They scare me a bit.
Feast or famine. Resourceful doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sforsborg and Horgensford today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's taint. Although they can currently only grow a few fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here on dry land.
Let's hope they're like Stroganoff.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
What are your thoughts on the costs of the rescue?
Oh my God, Patrick Bannon, wash your mouth out with soap. You can't put a value on human life. You have to spend whatever it takes, because one day you might be trapped in an underwater cave system and you would want exactly the same.
I don't think so, actually, because for legal reasons, we're actually not allowed within 31 yards of the coastline. So.
Oh.
I
Aber,
am not a number.
okay, jetzt nehmen wir
Applications
auf.
finally open today for the new Advance Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, vitally, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Was? Das Spiel ist gecrashed. Oh, ich habe genau in dem Moment eine Steam-Sammelkarte bekommen. What the fuck? Warum ist das Spiel gecrashed? Na komm, OBS, fangen wir das Spiel wieder auf. Danke. Scheißdreck. Sieht aus, als hätten das Spiel nicht richtig beendet. Falls irgendwelche Probleme auftreten, wende dich bitte an uns. Wir werden reicht uns über alternativ kannst du deine Fehler fortsetzen. Erstmal noch keinen Fehlerbericht senden. Tag 232, die Stille. Darf ich jetzt ernsthaft wieder... Oh. Das ist jetzt nervig.
You're fired. What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny, problem? I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realize I'm going to sound like...
Ja, er sagt, wir vielleicht irgendwie kaputt machen können.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
Na super, jetzt darf ich mir das ganz normal angucken.
I'll talk to both of them.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole
Also
dish.
überspringt ruhig ein paar Sekunden, wenn ihr könnt. Im Handy. Irgendwas. Auch nochmal kannst du überspringen.
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
You're letting it go to your head.
She really blinded me.
10 seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
You're in
high-mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of
Die
oil and
Leute
gas,
sind böse auf
food,
wegen den
clothing,
Beschränkungen.
and even some medicines. But how should we react? We ask the public.
Ich will jetzt andere Sachen
What are
nehmen.
your reaction to the sanctions?
I think it's fucking outrageous. My mom needs insulin. Am I supposed to get her transitioned? What's the government doing about it, eh?
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is
jetzt
nothing
kommt
short
Frequenz
of
wieder.
outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive.
Und der eine war jetzt eben voll happy.
The drug has been passed
Und machen wir mal. Wir sind sauer da drauf. Wir sind sauer auf alles.
In rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged genitalia, and increased risk of stroke. No double entendre intended.
Und die bösen Nachrichten sind jetzt, ich will keine größeren Genitalien haben. Oder?
Would you take the male contraceptive pill?
No, mate. Her body, her baby, her problem.
Boah, Alter, ist das ein Arschloch. Entschuldigung.
A momentary lapse of reason. Commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy. But most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics? Robin found out.
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Oh, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Oh, Iris doesn't speak on mine, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the oiks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Feast or famine. Resourceful doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sforsborg-Horgensford today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's taint. Although they can currently only grow a few fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here on dry land.
Gucken, ob es gleich wieder abschmiert.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
Yeah, don't worry, they're going to cut all this, aren't they? It's disgusting. Christ. Oh, Jesus, wept.
Oh, wie unangenehm.
Have you thought about quitting smoking?
Right. No, I'm fine now.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
The trapped scientists.
Oh, yeah, right. Don't really care.
Brilliant.
Super. Toll.
I am not a number.
Ah, anscheinend ist das Spiel
Applications
super.
finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks,
Ah ja, sie sind böse da drauf.
clubs and bars.
Vielleicht kommt jetzt auch wieder der alte
And
Mann.
of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your derriere.
Oh, crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon!
Richtig so.
Crikey.
And
Richtig
finally
so.
tonight,
Das wollte ich
game
sehen.
of two halves. Fresh out of rehab, repentant celebrity sportsman Johnny Handsleeves is promising to turn over a new leaf.
In a surprisingly energetic appearance on the Whitney Chinwag show this morning, Johnny showed everyone he's certainly full of life and raring to go.
You better not try that on our sofas. I doubt they'll survive the frenzy.
But what should we think of this exuberant behaviour? Patrick?
Oh my God, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Na komm, das krieg ich jetzt diesmal gut hin. Na komm, hör auf damit. Hör auf mit den Frequenzen.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard or labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Avance's defiant stance?
Vance is like man who think he have big career.
Das läuft eigentlich ganz gut gerade.
And actually, he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah?
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, vote thing, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Feuerlands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to work our grandparents' gleania whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? Is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think
Hat
you
er auch
have
mal
tiny
was
penis.
anderes?
But actually, he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, his tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. He can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have, like, serious animal welfare legislation. And, like, my friend Helge, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her.
Oh mein
field
Gott, sie
there.
hat einen Schmetterling getötet.
In English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. I wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
It's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis. And deal full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restrictive monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power outages...
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Björk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister.
Okay.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. When really, he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Na, okay, die sind weg.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Warte, er will sogar extra gefeuert werden. Okay. Ey, ich habe eine A-Segmentbewertung. Schön.
For a crazy... This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue.
same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Was? Vogeltränken. Wir haben Ententränken voll. Achso.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Meghan?
This is Jeremy. He'll be interviewing you.
Oh.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand. You
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice?
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of a
Or maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, super.
So this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, You're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Ich darf bestimmt sehr viel zensieren.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job, he's unfit for. It's time to stone the
Vergesst die ganze Zeit zu zensieren.
So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley, the ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty, the ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation, the ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise of the crest of the waves, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the puzzle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, no squilling bed letters, and burn them on the
was denn? Ah, die Kamera ist zu lang auf demselben.
Gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the puzzle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a
Das Blaue soll ich auch auszensieren.
aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt. Then your anger erupt, then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Theoretisch zensiere ich ihn damit die ganze Zeit.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Mir wurde das blau angezeigt. Ich wusste ja nicht, ob ich jetzt sollte oder nicht. Wurde halt nicht als falsch markiert.
Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ads.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous.
Just a reminder. Seen that old VCR? It's been a new tape. Past that break.
I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
So schlecht war ich. Ey, ich habe mir voll Mühe gegeben. Und das Spiel sagt, ich war scheiße.
Days, and it will let you claim enough food for the week, every week, at one of our.
Das finde ich jetzt nicht nett vom Spiel. Dann gebe ich mir voll Mühe im richtigen Takt und dann haut die Musik da alles. Macht ja alles kaputt.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shut up, stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more.
Oh,
Say no
Harry.
more.
Henry?
Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
Mr. Algebra?
Mr. Harris, and this is
Mr. Harris war das, stimmt.
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Sorry. Cheers.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Ray, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs are akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
It's catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. But you're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Wow. Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Wow, dafür hatten sie Budget.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Und nochmal Werbung.
We must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Er hat den B. Okay. Übertragung abgeschlossen. Ja, bin ich zufrieden mit. Aber mit der zweiten Sequenz, das ist ja... Die ist richtig runter. Alle Kraftausdrücke wurden zensiert. Eine Sendung ohne Störsignale. Ein extrem schwacher Schnitt. Okay. Das Timing der Werbung war eine Schande. Wann soll ich Werbung spielen? Das Spiel sagt mir nicht, wann ich Werbung spielen soll. Advance ist besorgt wegen der Sprache. Du hältst deinen vollen Lohn. Aktuelles Vermögen. Kauf ein. Lähmende Schulden. Ja, immerhin. Mag Daddy mich noch? Channel 1 mag mich nicht. Bearbeitungsnotiz. Abbrechen, okay. Vorhin gibt es einfach eine Errungenschaft, nämlich ich mir eine komplette Show nochmal angucke.
At 6:30 p.m. Before we go over to the National Nightly News team, there's just time to catch up on our programming later tonight. At 6:30 p.m, it's What's My Old Tap Worth? And tonight, Frank Franklin and the team are in Grantstable trying to flog an auto.
Ladevorgang.
At 7 p.m, it's today's highlights from the Sports Board Regionals, presented as always by Patrick.
Ich lasse es mal durch die komplette Show durchlaufen. Vielleicht reicht das ja für die Errungenschaft. So, machen wir ganz schnell. Dudum, 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 dudum. Ja, da ist das Interview. Und warum ist denn mal 16 das schnellste? Warum kann man nicht auch mal 32 machen? Komm, lass einmal durchlaufen. Das Interview mit dem, ja. So, jetzt gleich müsste sein Song beginnen. Ah, Moment, ich sehe, wie ich zensiert habe.
So this is for the snuff ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of loved ones who had plenty like Bentley, the ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty, the ones at aspiration who had to flee in it.
Ah, er sagt sogar Scheiß Advar, okay. Dann ist eigentlich verständlich, dass wir es zensiert haben. Ah, Werbung. Der Drache geht sich da jetzt um Tod, ist vorbei. Werbung. Ja, da ist die Errungenschaft. Watch one of your own broadcasts. Gab's nicht irgendwie, schau dir eine ganze Werbung an oder sowas? Was ist eigentlich mit der Snugglehacks-Werbung? Ist doch Kuschelflausch.
Kids, you...
Okay, dafür gibt es keine Errungenschaft. Fortsetzen.